Good evening, everyone. This is Kumaran. We are going to see about multi-dimensional or IP-dimensional generalized arithmetic progression for cube number sequence. I am going to illustrate in the way of space exploration, where the stars are located in the some light year distance far away from each other, but it is like a some kind of a formation. It's like a three-dimensional space. The stars are located each other far away from each other. It forms like a three-dimensional cube that have a sequence of numbers. So before that, I want to explain about this is a multi-dimensional formula. It is like very tough, so I'm giving you the this is a multi-dimensional generalized formula progression for cube numbers. Suppose like we have already one cube, two cube in our school days. Let's think about like if the cube numbers are formatted in two-dimensional, three-dimensional, four-dimensional, five-dimensional, up to n dimensional. So this is how we are representing x is the factor of hyperdimensional. We are multiplying with each dimension values, and it's like a formation also. So if there is a nth dimension, then it will be n minus 1th dimensional. So if we have a three dimensional, it will come up to phases only. If it is a four dimensional, there will be like a two cubes will be placed, two more than or two or more cubes. If there is a fifth dimension, means fourth dimensional hypercube. And then sixth dimension means six up to fifth dimensional hypercube. Likewise, if we have 100 dimensions, 99th hyperdimensional cube till it is applicable. So there is a formula in terms of last number. So if you see, this is a last number and this is for the first number. So remaining the terms are will be the similar. So x is nothing but hyperdimensional way. So we have a hyperdimensional, and then first number plus last number all divided by 2, and x into x plus 1 all divided by 2, plus s l minus x into l plus x. So for this last number, and if it is a first number, f plus 6 f plus x plus into f minus 1. So here it is like plus or minus will change each places. So l minus x means f plus x, l plus 1 means f minus 1. So that is a formula for that. Let's deep dive into our space related concept. So let's assume this two cube 8 light years away from the star. This is the first star is located in the three-dimensional space, and the last star is located in this three-dimensional space is 9 cube. That is 729 light years far away from. So this is, if you see, like this is a formation, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube. This is like a first phase, and then the second phase is a backward direction. So 6 cube, 7 cube, 8 cube, 9 cube. So this is a backward direction. If you form it like a cube, so these two phases are far away from each other, which is respectively 90-degree as an angle. So if you say like one dimension to another dimension, how we can able to make a difference is like perpendicular to each other, which is nothing but 90-degree far away from each other. So if this first phase is far away from, yeah, another phase is backward phase is 90-degree from each other, then it forms like a cube. If you take it like a, if you imagine like a three dimension, usually people tend to say like it is having a six phases, but in the perspective of the dimension differences from one dimension to another dimension, we need to consider this way. So one phase to another phase is far away from each other, but connecting the dots from the two dimension to third dimension, which is perpendicular to each other. That's all from this. So this is the first number and this is the last number. This is the first phase, this is the last phase. This has two rows, two columns, and two phases. So that is a three-dimensional representation how these stars are located in our universe. Now coming to this formula, As I mentioned, instead of x, I mentioned h of n. H of n is nothing but hyperdimensional numbers. So we can formulate this hyperdimensional number for our three-dimensional. So this is the nth dimension. I bringing that pattern to our three-dimensional one, and then the pattern is 2 cross 2 cross 2. So this is a formula we can able to see. So for three-dimensional, we have this format, and the first number, last number is 219. So when we apply this formula for the first and last number, and we got the result is 2024. And when we verify this or cross check it, so first phase and second phase values all together we sum it up, and then we got this one. So hence we got the result perfectly working, and it is matches with the our formula. This is I recently innovated around 2 or 3 weeks back. This is very interesting one, and thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.